Hey there, and welcome back to Utility Sports. We do have some breaking news. Dak Prescott has signed a 4-year, $160 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys. The first 3 years is going to average around 42 million per season. So this is really, really big for the Dallas Cowboys and for Dak Prescott. We kind of, knew this was coming ultimately, but it's really good to see that it all finally came together. Dak and the Dallas Cowboys have been going back and forth on a contract for the last couple of seasons, trying to get something long term figured out. And even with Dak's injury, they are putting their belief in Dak Prescott to be their franchise quarterback. And there's going to be some mixed feelings about this contract. There's going to be a lot of people that say this is horrible. There's going to be some people that say that it's, pretty good, and then there's going to be others that think it's really good. So there's going to be a lot of mixed feelings on that front. But just to kind of give a little perspective, I mean, Dak Prescott was leading the league in yards at the time of his injury this season. So that was early, but he was leading the league in yards. And let's go back to last season where he actually threw for 4,900 yards and 30 touchdowns. I think he only had 11 picks on top of that. So, statistically speaking, he had a very, very good season as well the year prior in that 2019 season. So, overall, the Dallas Cowboys are getting a top 15 quarterback for sure, a guaranteed top 15 quarterback. Obviously, some people do believe he is top 10, and there's a lot. That's kind of where the mixed feelings are about him, and it really depends on where you feel he is as a quarterback in this league. But nevertheless, I mean, he did get paid. The quarterbacks are coming at a premium at this point, and for Dallas, they wanted to get it done. I think it makes a lot of sense for both sides, and it's a perfect marriage to me because I mean, Dak Prescott works really, really well in that Dallas offense. And it's exciting for Dallas Cowboy fans because now they don't have to worry about potentially drafting a quarterback or trying to leverage one in the trade market, which that can get really, really sticky sometimes. So ultimately, Dak is going to be a Cowboy. I think this overall is a really good move for Dallas. If I'm going to be completely honest, they don't have to go through all the the pre-draft stuff and worry about getting themselves a quarterback and using a first round pick on one. The one thing that does hurt is that $42 million a year. That's really, really expensive. Don't get me wrong, but in this day and age, you're going to have to pay that kind of price for a quarterback. And for Dallas, they're going to have to do a little cap maneuvering, figuring out restructuring. And there's going to be some guys that are going to be cut as a result of this contract. Obviously, you do have to have a quarterback in this league. It's the most important position in the NFL. I'm kind of interested to see what Dallas ends up doing because they are paying a lot of players. Obviously, Ezekiel Elliott, you have Amari Cooper, and the list goes on. If we want to go to defense as well, Jalen Smith, there's so many different guys that they have to pay. And, obviously, there's going to be some places where they do have to make some adjustments with their cap. And like I said, restructure, hopefully, maybe give out more bonuses in that sense. But for Dallas, I think this is a very good move. Now let's kind of look at it from Dak Prescott's perspective. I think this is arguably the best landing spot that he could have had going, entering free agency this year. And finally, they are going to pay him that big contract he's been, desiring. Because I remember when he turned down that $33 million a year, there was a lot of people freaking out. Why wouldn't you sign that contract? You're not going to get that again. Obviously, he bet on himself, and you take a look at the results, $42 million per season. And that's just crazy because I was not anticipating him ultimately making this kind of money. I just really didn't see it. I think that this is phenomenal for both sides. And I'm really excited to see what Dallas can do because we know that NFC East is ultimately wide open because you have Washington, who has a big question mark at quarterback. You have Philadelphia. Also, I'm not sold on the whole Jalen Hurts in that offense. I mean, he wasn't that good last season. And then obviously the New York Giants, they have Daniel Jones. So there's no question in my mind that they have the best quarterback in the division. They have arguably the best roster in the division. Arguably. I am not saying they do, but I do think that their roster is for sure first or second because Washington has a really, really interesting roster as well. But Obviously, they don't have the quarterback to kind of complement that roster. So it really depends on what they do in free agency or in the draft to kind of dictate, where that roster stands. But the fact that they're able to keep their franchise quarterback, not have to worry about going through the tagging process and everything like that. You're just getting your guy, and you're going to have to build around him, and structure of the salary cap. You know exactly how to plan the next couple of seasons. Obviously, there's going to be some cap casualties, but you do have your guy moving forward, which is really, really important for an NFL franchise. And Dak Prescott, in my opinion, has been underrated. I know there's a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans. Sometimes they get loud about him, but and that causes other fans to not like Dak Prescott as much. But I mean, he's a really, really good dude. He's a fun player to watch, and I'm super, super excited for this pairing for the next 4 seasons. So if you did enjoy the video, please leave a comment. What did you think of the contract? Also, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy what you saw here. Also, finally, please subscribe if you do enjoy NFL content. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.